Guy and Kyle. Hi. How are you doing?
Hello. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me in the interview pod. I'm very excited to have two Olympians sitting really across from me today. And we're going to be chatting all things, your life and all of the lessons you've learned that you're now bringing to a different career trajectory. So before we even dive in, can you both introduce yourself and what you do at Monday? And a fun fact in the world of Olympics that people probably don't know.
Wow. You want me to go first? Okay, so I'm Guy Barnea. I'm an Olympic swimmer. I represented Israel in Beijing '08. And it was a lot of fun. Today I'm in Monday product marketing manager of Monday Service. And it's hard when you put us on the spot to give you a fun fact about the Olympics, but we were just talking about the parties when the Olympic Games are over and you're still in the village, and we both had an amazing time. We were at different Olympics, but I think the experience was pretty the same.
All right.
I recommend.
Olympic swimmer Kyle. Tell me about yourself.
Yes. So my name is Kyle Good. I'm from Ireland. I represented Team Ireland, the hockey team, at the Rio Olympics in 2016. So yeah, two fun places to go to the Olympics in terms of the party atmosphere of the crowd, which is great. Currently, I'm a strategic alliance manager with the kind of partnership team and the professional services team here at Monday. And yeah, it's quite an adaptation or a change from the field to the tech environment, but it's fun. But I'm trying, on the spot, I had a little bit of buffer while you were answering your question to think of a fun fact. And I don't know if people know if it's real or if it's myth, but McDonald's is the biggest restaurant in the Olympic Village at any time, and it's all for free. So
Not anymore,
this year was the
stopped
first
it.
year that they didn't have a McDonald's in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So
You're
at the
saying-
start of the week, where everybody's competing in high energy, there's no queue. And then as the event goes on and people get knocked out or finish, the queue gets longer. So yeah,
You're telling me there's free flow of nuggets?
free flow on nuggets and McFlurries.
Yeah, the
Wow.
McFlurry, I forgot about that. So when you're done competing, you move from being at the top shape of your life, everything is like ready to go, top performance. Then you start eating that like 3 times a day.
I'm still eating that 3 times. I'm still eating.
Oh, you
3
carried
times.
that habit, yeah. So and you ruin everything within like 2 days. You're feeling really bad.
Oh my God. I heard whisperings just now about an Olympic tattoo. Tell me about that. You both have an Olympic tattoo?
One of us does.
Mm.
One
Yes,
of us.
I don't have one.
Why not?
I think I just too afraid of the concept of tattoos that it sticks with you forever. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. A lot of my friends got it.
Right.
I think it looks really cool. If I would get any tattoo, I think I would get that one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get it when I'm like 60 or 70 or something.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, you're always an Olympian, right? So
Yeah.
you can get it whenever. But yes, I do have the Olympic tattoo.
Can I join the Olympic tattoo club even though I'm not an Olympian?
You can get a tattoo for sure, and no one would know. Yeah, there's
just
so many
fake it till
people
I
with
make it.
tattoos now walking on the globe, and they're not questioning everyone.
Well, I wanna come back and talk about sort of that transition from being training as someone that's going to be participating in the Olympics to making that career switch of going into tech. Walk me through that kind of moment that you felt, okay, I'm gonna stop the training and I want to try something new. What was that for the both of you?
It's an adjustment. It's a tough adjustment. I'm speaking personally. The discipline is what gets you to kind of the level of the Olympics. Talent is obviously accounts for some of it, but discipline, I would say, is a large part of it. And that is a very transferable skill that you can bring into the workplace. But I think the part where I found it difficult to adjust was you go from an environment where you have dietitians, doctors, coaches, masseuses, physios, all this support network. And kind of you take it for granted, and you are used to coming off the field and a laptop being put in front of your face and say, look, these are some areas you can work on. This is some areas that were great. And you kind of on the conveyor belts going through the motions of this, and then you stop and you still have that level of discipline, but you go into the working environment and it's not that you don't have support, but it's not fed to you. And for me, I definitely kind of had this moment of realization being like, oh no, I need to go and get this feedback and I need to go and seek this additional support. So that was a big adjustment. But I think once you kind of realize that, you realize that in a different way.
Yeah.
Monday or, corporates have their own physios, their dietitians, the equivalent, and so therefore you're able to kind of just pair the discipline that you had on top of it, and it kind of makes that adaptation a little bit more easy.
I completely identify with it. And if I take a step back, like when you are in the sports, you are always chasing something, like a result, a placement, a ranking, and you are always you have this big northern star and like this challenge that is pushing you, and it's getting you excited to work hard and to get out of bed like really early. And I think at some point before I retired, like I, on the one hand, started realizing that I fulfilled a lot of the stuff that I could probably, my body have the potential to fulfill. And then it started being about like maybe looking a bit the other way from the pool to find other challenges that are appealing to me. And maybe I want to try to succeed or to do something in a different area. So I think when I started feeling that, it was very natural to kind of say, okay, I'm like very content and happy with what I was doing in the pool.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting excited about something else. So the transition made sense. But then everything you just mentioned, like all of a sudden you don't have that support. You don't have the team doctor. You don't have all of those people around you.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know how to set an appointment for the doctor. Like a normal person, it was like so hard. Now I know. So don't worry.
It's we laugh and I agree, but you're in this bubble where you're protected and you're looked after to the point where it makes you a bit useless sometimes. If you're like need to book because you know that you're like, I need to go to the dentist. And they're like, well, we've got a team dentist. But you adapt quite quickly when you get out of there.
I think it's so interesting to hear about sort of that experience as an Olympian of having those people around you as your support network. Do you think it's equivalent to that element of teamwork there and also the teamwork in a workplace, or is it vastly different? Because, I mean, we can say, every athlete, behind every athlete, there's a team. And you could be in a team sport, or you can have a team of people behind you that are supporting you along the way. Is it accurate to say that that theme of team is similar to theme in the workplace?
I think you probably have a different, or a bit of different take, because you actually played team sport. A lot of people think that swimming is very isolated and you're just with yourself, but it's really the opposite. Like you're always surrounded by your teammates, women and men, like every day, like a few hours in the pool, and also the people around the team that are supporting. And I think you learn very quickly that if you want to succeed and to improve, you can't just be in your own mind and your own lane and do your own stuff. Like you need to look to the side. You need to work with some people that are doing something really amazing and ask them about it and get some inspiration, but also like some of the tricks or how to do stuff. So a lot of collaboration goes into making yourself better in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Kyle, is that probably a similar experience for you? I mean, you played in a team sport, so it might be very different.
Yeah, I think you appreciate your individual contribution to a bigger picture. Like, when you're playing on a team, you're all trying to win the game, right? And you can make sense of it in the workplace where you're all trying to get to a certain goal.
Yeah.
But I think you appreciate it more at the start in a sporting or team capacity, because it's easy sometimes to see that goal, or it's over a shorter period of time, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you move into a business environment, it's a longer period of time, a short goal. So it's like having that patience and understanding your individual contribution to it, but also that it's like, it's going to take time to do this, and understanding or appreciating the different characters
Yeah.
within that team. I think that, to your point, Guy, the like extracurricular, if we want to call it, that socializing, the beer after work, like that's actually where I think you harvest success, right?
Yeah.
You know, you break down these barriers. When you're training, we're here to train, and we need to do what we need to do to get to the goal. But when it's after training and you're, I don't know, relaxing or in a work environment, kind of letting your guard down and understanding those personalities a little bit more, I think that's the compound effect that supports your kind of team effort for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I want to go back a little bit to Kyle. You were saying about those transferable skills to the workplace. You were saying something about discipline. What are some of the other kind of skills that you've developed as you were training for the Olympics that I think has really, I don't know, set you up for success right now being in the world of work?
I think one thing that come to mind is the ability to take every day at a time. You're not always going to have a great day at work or at anything that you do. And sometimes it can really bring you down or wear you down. But I think the ability to kind of like go home, change environment, reset, and then come to the next day with a different mindset, with a bit of like retro thinking of what can I improve, how can I make myself feel more comfortable in some situations maybe that I didn't feel comfortable. So I think that's something that that really helped me.
Yeah.
Also have stuff that I wasn't ready for. That is like in sports, you know, they take care of a recovery. It's part of your job to take a nap between practices. It's part of your job to go to the masseuse, to go to the hot tub, and at work, no one really tells you, "Guy, you're working too hard. You need to chill now." So I feel like when no one tells you that, and everybody are excellent and overachievers in our company, then it's very easy to wear yourself down. It took me a long time to do that adjustment, to put some limits and take care of my recovery so I can come back better the next day.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see the same or experience the same for you as well, Kyle?
Yeah, I think pressure and stressful environments is definitely something that I feel the sporting environment or world equipped me for. You can feel like the weight of your team or the game on your shoulders, or it might all just be happening quite quickly, you know, high pressure environment, or even it came down to like team environment for me, like selection process. I remember one of the most kind of nerve-wracking periods of my life was like waiting for that email to come through of the selection that you are one of the 16 going to the Olympics, you know, and you're a team of 22 that have been training for a whole year to go through this. So being able to kind of pause and see what's happening in front of you, I think has definitely helped from a sporting environment into a work environment, just to kind of be able to tackle that pressurized environment and not get stressed out about things, that like understand a bit of perspective about what's happening in the moment. Everything is high emotion, you know, and it's being able to kind of just take that step back and evaluate it. For sure, sports helped equip me with that.
For sure. And in that process of sort of changing careers, because it is a very significant career change, what was that moment for you after retirement from training that you decided to go into the world of tech? Why tech?
You start.
It's probably we're gonna have two very different answers here, and it's based on what your sport is, perhaps. So I played a sport where it was like a hobby, if I'm telling the truth. I had a kind of job at the time, and then I trained, so it was like balancing the both of them. And then when we qualified for the Olympics, we went full time, and that was great. But then post Olympics, it's a case of, okay, I gotta go, you know, back into the work environment or balance it again.
Yeah.
And so for me, I kind of just weighed up my options here. I said, you know, for hockey, the pinnacle is the Olympics, and I kind of felt like, you know, box ticked.
Yeah.
I'm content with what I've done there, and let's bring on the next challenge. And for me, that next challenge was the kind of the professional environment or the working environment. And, you know, I go into that perhaps like with a very aggressive, and what I mean by aggressive is like ambitious, aggressive mindset that I had it in sport.
Right.
And I think that kind of was a bit of a learning curve for me coming into a work environment where there's a lot more moving parts and I'm a bit of a bulldozer saying, I need I want to make the team, I want to do this, I want to score the goal, whatever. It's kind of check yourself a little bit there. But no, for me, it was a personal decision of, look, I've ticked the box,
Yeah.
and let's take on the next challenge, which is a career in tech. Yeah.
100% guy.
For me, it wasn't straight to tech. So I told you that I started looking at different challenges. Like I wanted to start my own thing, and I did start a brand for men's swimwear, and we were doing like pretty good. And we collaborated with Universal Studios, and we were selling in the U.S. But at some point, it first of all, it didn't blow up like I dreamed it would blow up. And then also I felt like very a bit alone as an entrepreneur. I had my partners and some of the workers that work with us, but I didn't feel like I'm learning as much as I would like to learn. So I always knew that I want to work with technology, and when I started looking at some companies, Monday was definitely one of the top choices. And for me, not only to be in tech, but to work for Monday, it was kind of like that's a cool challenge. Like I want to be at the top company. So I'm happy it worked out.
Looking back at your career and making that transition, is there anything you would have done differently? The timing or how you did it? Would you have changed anything?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, no, I don't look back saying I wish I'd done anything significant differently.
Yeah.
And perhaps I think, for me, I kind of made that decision prior to going to the Olympics, being like, look, if we go here, I had that conversation with myself, like, if we go here and we do okay, this is what the next step's going to be.
Yeah.
I think maybe preparing myself a little bit more for that, because there is a huge part of your life that's been like waking up at 6 and training and all this, and it's that I think I needed to prepare myself a little bit more for that. I should have probably prepared my back a little bit more. I was going from training to then sitting in a seat for a while. Was
Plus one for that.
Where's the ergonomic chair?
My back is killing me.
Yeah. I think my first few colleagues thought I had lost the plot, because I would get down and stretch because my back would just seize up. But I don't know if you had that.
That's a good point. Yeah, like our body is it's like a habit for us, like to wake up, to work out, to take care of our bodies, and all of a sudden you are sitting most of the day. So I think for me that's one thing that I would do differently. I would prioritize moving and during the day, and we can do it in Monday, and we have the gym, we have all the facilities to do it. You're just so caught up in work, and this is now the challenge that you're being graded on, or like that is in the spotlight. So you put everything else aside.
Yeah.
But it's I think everybody, not just us, like should prioritize finding the time to move around. It could be even like 10 minutes, but we don't even do that. So
back-to-back meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on a chair.
Back-to-back meetings that break your back.
Put that on a t-shirt. I want to transition a little bit now that you're in tech. You're doing amazing things for Monday, and we're here now at Elevate London, our biggest event of the year. How are you feeling about being here? We've just wrapped up day one. What are your thoughts? What's the vibe? Talk to me through that.
It's like the Olympics of the tech world, right? Like everybody's here. It's so colorful. It's so interesting everywhere you look, and really the operations team and the programs team did such an amazing job here. It's like top of the world what's happening here, and so it's fun to be part of something that is much bigger than you. And I feel like this is exactly what you feel at the Olympic Games. It's challenging, and all of us that are here, we have some goals from this event, and we want some great stuff for our customers. So it's you're always engaged in some way. So I'm really enjoying it. What do you
It's
think?
the Monday Olympic Village.
Oh, this is the village.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Where's the McDonald's?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Outside?
I need to ask Natalie Ross where the McDonald's is next year. But genuinely it kind of has that Olympic Village feel to
Yeah.
it a little bit. So, and that's one of my favorite takeaways from the village aspect was there was this complete equality in the village. It didn't matter what your discipline was. Everybody had trained for 4 years to be there, and there was this respect, like unwritten respect amongst everybody. And you would sit like you were at a school canteen, and you would sit opposite someone, and you'd see what country they're from. You'd ask them what sport they do, and you'd have this great conversation about everything. And I might be a bit cheesy about it, but honestly, this feels a little bit like that. As in, everybody is using Monday or is exploring Monday, and they're sitting at the table, kind of opposite someone, asking them like, what do they do, and how are you doing it, and get to rub shoulders with, the other athletes, if we're gonna use that phrase for it, to kind of have that mutual respect of understanding what they're doing and hearing different capabilities. And it's actually cool to see. It's really good, like to see also the evolution of what Elevate was a few years ago to what it is now. It's amazing.
That's a good point.
And it's like very exciting to kind of listen to everybody's stories about it.
Wow, what a way to end the interview. Definitely putting that on the social sizzle reel.
Thank you, Natasha.
Have a great day 2 of Elevate London, and thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks for having us.
It was fun. Thank you.